Tonight we had our monthly meeting, and I'd like to, give you a little critique of what I felt like went on tonight. A lot of it was technical stuff about our improvements to the sewers and the sidewalks, so I won't bore you with that. I'll have a copy of the agenda up. And we tried to get some bids on the gazebo roof. We only got one bid and it was way out of line, we thought, so we're going to try to submit some more bids. Anita Gregory has been by for the last 3 months complaining about a drainage problem that in her house, where her house floods and air conditioner floods, and it's not anything to do with her. It was the ditches are in bad shape and everything drains her yard, and my attitude is, hey, we got to take care of this. This is top priority. I said, that's what we're here for, to take care of the people of Sperry. This woman has been diligent in coming to the meetings, and I think it's a top priority. And we're going, one of our contractors that's doing some of the work is going to come over and look at it and see what his recommendations are. So hopefully we can get this problem taken care of, because my concern is the way she talked, water stands there. Well, it's coming up on mosquito season and the Zika virus. I don't want it. Do you? Do you want your kid to have it? And I don't. I mean, now it's going to become a health problem. And I realize this is a problem over town, but it's something that we're going to have to start tackling, no matter what it takes or what it does. That's something that's got to be done. I brought a couple of items up on the agenda tonight. Then I'll show you. I received this on January the 30th from John Q. Public. In fact, I got several calls on this, wanting to know why the Sperry police car was at Waffle House in Owasso on a Saturday morning for an hour and a half. Well, the explanation I got tonight was that they were on some kind of a training session with the Owasso police, and that's why they were over there. So I said, well, what is our policy? Exactly what is our policy on leaving the city limits while on duty? Well, Justin, the police chief, said that we have a 15-minute or 15-mile radius that we can go. I said, well, to me, this is totally unacceptable. I can see no reason at all why an off-duty policeman should leave the city limits unless he's transporting a prisoner to the county or he's on some kind of an emergency call. But just to go eat lunch or go do this or do that, to me, that's not accessible. These guys are being paid to protect our town. And to me, like I say, I got several calls that want to know why this was going on. And I get calls say, hey, I've seen them in Sand Springs. I've seen them out by the Hard Rock Casino. Well, the next item on the agenda was, I said, why don't we put GPSs in our vehicles? That way we can track these complaints, and somebody calls up and makes a complaint. Well, no, we'll look at the GPS. No, you might have made a mistake. Our records show they weren't there. Well, I met up with the same kind of opposition that I do every time on most of the things I bring up. Everybody thinks that I have a personal agenda against somebody or something. People, this is for our own protection. If remember this past winter, if you saw the news, on a traffic stop in Tulsa, a woman who was handcuffed in the back seat climbed over the seat and stole the police car. Well, they found it through GPS. What if that happens to us? And it's just because the attitude that I get from the other board members is like Deborah Burr said, well, you just want to keep track of the Sperry police where they are. Isn't that the purpose of a GPS? That way, like I say, I'm tired of all these complaints. And I'm a taxpayer too, and I feel the same way. There's no justifiable reason to be outside the city limits unless if you're not on, excuse me, I'm all tongue-tied. There's no reason to be outside the city limits while you're on duty. Period. And people in Sperry elected me because they wanted somebody that would go up there and wouldn't be afraid to express their opinion. I do, and it falls on deaf ears, but I won't stop. I live in this town a lot longer than most people have. I know what it used to be, what it is, and what it could be or should be. And obviously none of that's happening because, and let me stress one more thing, people. The answer that I get from other board members, well, where are they at? Why don't they come up here and complain? There's nobody here. And I told them, I said, you know exactly why they don't come up here and complain. Because of past history up here. I've had people tell me, I said, come to the meetings. They said, well, I tell you what, I went up to that meeting a couple of years ago, and I made a complaint about something. He said, within the next morning, the police chief was circling my house and staring me down like I had committed a crime. And all I did was express an opinion or a request, you know. So, I'm not going to give up, people. I said, you know, I love this town just as much as the rest of you do. And I'm not going to quit. I mean, I want to see this town. We have all this money for everything, but I'm telling you, people, right now, last summer, I got several calls from young mothers. There's nothing for us to do, nothing for my kids to do in this town. We have no playgrounds. We have nothing. People, the future of Sperry depends on young mothers in this town. If they get disgruntled and say, like one lady said, well, it's got to, Scott, no, what's going to, I don't want to have to move there, but I will if I have to. What I would like to see done is, I don't know what would be involved in it legally, but where the old Doc Humphrey's old office sat there in front of Sousa, I would like to see us put in a splash pad with covered seating and a small playground on one end for the little kids and a basketball goal or something on the other end for the older kids to play. That way, all the young mothers in the daytime or in the evening, all the young families can push their strollers up there and enjoy an evening where it doesn't cost them any money, it's safe, and their kids can enjoy it. That's what the future of this town, I mean, there's a lot of, I say I'm 64, and there's people that I see in this town that I know that were my age when I was a kid. So, that's the future of this town. We got to keep these young mothers happy. Whether, you know, that's strictly my opinion from a person who has lived in this town, grew up in this town, went to school in this town, and loves this town as much as anybody. I just want it to be better for everybody. Thank you for your time, and I hope, you know, people please start coming to the meetings.